Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin English. I'll be talking about retaining eligibility status in urban area student athletes. So the research question is along the lines of, what programs can be implemented to help our student athletes that's in these urban area school districts, help them retain eligibility status or even obtain, to keep it stated from beginning to end of their sports season. The purpose and importance is a whole wide range of things, and this is very important. I'm very passionate about this, and the importance of this and the purpose of this to limit the amount of students to go down and fail once they start playing sports, like basketball, for instance. Technically, everybody is eligible because grades don't come out a little bit after students get picked for the team. Once students are picked for the team, things seem to go downward from there. This is not for all students that fall into this category, but majority of them, from experience as a player myself with teammates and as a 24-year-old right now, still seeing the effects of students that play basketball. Um, be joined on the team at school and then be ineligible because of their grades. So I'm trying to limit that. I'm trying to have students explore, more than what the sport they playing in, right? So like, I got little Jimmy. He wants to be a basketball player, but hey, Jimmy, have you thought about these other careers that's in the realm of sports? So still keeping a kid interest in hand without trying to deter them from playing basketball, as if I'm telling him, hey, firefighters make a good living. That's not what I'm trying to do. And if a student wants to be a firefighter besides playing basketball, that's fantastic. But I'm trying to show different viewpoints, different jobs, different careers in the realm of sports, and that's my goal because I understand that students have a passion to play basketball, but I want them to have a passion for something else other than them playing basketball as a sport. With this point, this gives them more motivation than just playing the sport, right? Like, hey, you need this type of GPA to get to this level to be an athletic director. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I want to do that too. So they got, at least two goals in their mind. So that's the main importance, and the purpose is just to limit all the negativity that comes with sports and academics, and that's just one of the main things that I'm trying to touch on. So, what is the program about? So the program itself is to help retention, right? What does that mean, right? We try to put different factors into their lives, implement it into their school, everyday school life. Have people come in, uh, possibly speak to them on the basis of what our students' interests are, right? We have to understand that they're students first, then they're student athletes, and my focus is on student athletes just for the simple fact that, you know, I want them to succeed. Like, I don't want them to have to play half the season in camp because of academics. And if it's academics, we as professionals should be there, all hands on deck, trying to help our students out the best we can. And that is basically the purpose of the program, right? And just to be fair, this program is not cut and dry. I feel like it's going to take time to really look at the route that I'm going. Same thing as the professional route, as far as what I'm capable of doing with a school system or a school in particular to try to implement this program. And just making sure that the students even wants to find the purpose in this program. So that's one of the main things that this program will be about, and it's not just based on them, passing, but it's based on them having different aspirations within the sport, of course, just to help them out, have more motivation. The participants, because this will be so new for me to do, and we have fresh minds that's coming in excited. I decided to deal with freshman boys and girls basketball teams. Want to deal with basketball teams because their roster is usually 12 to 15. Between a boys team and then the girls will usually have like 12 to 15 as well. So that's a good chunk of students that I could possibly help throughout their time as a freshman. And then once I see that this is proven to be a good program there, yeah, I would definitely implement it for sophomore, juniors, and seniors. But right now, just to start it off, no much impact on their high school career yet. I want to make sure that we have a good stride at what we're doing with our students. So I also want to interview the parents because nobody knows your kids better than the parents, right? And I just want to know what's their tendencies. How is them as a student? Their 8th grade year, 7th grade year, or even throughout their whole middle grade year. What effects could be affecting them once they get to high school? And I'm not trying to get into personal questions. And I would just see what the parent would say. If the parent defines to me that their kid had an IEP, that's sensitive information. I would not exploit that. That would be something to my own personal information for that student in particular. But it won't change how I deal with the student individually because I'm just dealing with the student individual on the basis of career aspirations. Holding them accountable for their grades. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to get down to talking to their psychologist or anything like that. This is strictly on the basis of, hey, you play sports, you want to go far in sports, hey, I want you to think about other things as well in the realm of sport. That's just to help them out, expand their horizon, because some kids don't know. I didn't find out about what I wanted to do until I went to college. So, it's just something that I'm trying to prevent as well. Then, the administrative staff will be a great help to me in this because without them, I can't reach the children, right? What they basically be doing is I'll have the guidelines for them, how to implement the program. So then when I'm gone, they have the tools to carry it on. So that's what I want to do. I want to have a program set up where I have everything intact, and then once it's deemed successful, I got like a binder or something like that. Like, hey, here's everything we did with the freshman group. Go try it out with the sophomores. Go try it out with the juniors. Go try it out with the seniors. Try it with the incoming freshmen. That's what I want to do. I want to leave more of a legacy. That's what I want to do. So the first category is leadership, and everybody knows, or majority of people should know, that leadership is one of the biggest. Is one of the main pieces to having a great team, having a great organization. Leadership is something that should always be presented in any organization. And dealing with athletics, leadership is a big component to that, right? And I always understood why we needed to have team captains, which being a student being a team captain. But I think in this program, I will leave it over to the coaching staff because they're the professionals. They're the ones that got experience, and them the ones that need to have the title role of leadership because people are envious. Some people are not on track with one student being a leader. One other student want to be a leader, right? And I want to eliminate that, right? I don't want nobody thinking they're better than the other because they're deemed as the leader of the team. That's the coach, and that's how I should stick with it. And everybody should be on a level playing ground, understanding their role, and understanding that, basketball is a tool. It's a tool, not something that they can take with them and base their whole life on, right? Basketball is just a tool that gives you different things, different aspects, different views. And, that also builds leadership, to help a fellow teammate that's feeling down. And this is good for boys and girls. Motivation. Without motivation, what are you doing? What is the purpose? So that's why I want to have that second component of aspirations for careers is, what are you motivated about? What you want to do? How you want to change the world? How you want to make your impact? Those are the type of questions that we need to, really express to our student athletes for them to understand that, we need you. And you put that importance on a child, on a student athlete, or on anybody. they have an obligation to themselves and to the world that they need to come out and they need to make an impact, and that can motivate them. They want to be athletic director besides playing basketball or football. That's another motivation on why they want to go to class, why they want to focus, why they want to study, why they want to ask for help. Life skills, total, life skills is so overwhelming. Not for me as a person, but it should be for our students as well, because it's the fact that, every day we got to make choices, right? Life skills, if you get caught up in a situation, what would you do? If you need to, help out somebody that's in an argument with somebody else, what would you do? Stuff like that, life skills, getting wisdom from your coach, from your athletic director, from your teachers, from your other classmates or student athletes. Everything that they do in this sport is a life skill that can be taken and then, can be implemented out into the real world, when they want to go for a job interview, when they're working in a job, when they're working in a group. As simple as doing group work as far as school work, like, hey, when my team was in this situation, I felt it was best for, next thing and the other, and they can implement that into what they do in their life. So the methods, I'm doing surveys, interviews, stuff along them lines, and checking grades as well. And with the grade portion of it, basketball is typically 10 weeks, right? So we look at the grades in the beginning, middle, and then the end, which depends on when their season ends. So if they go to the playoffs, then I won't check the grades. Goes into the championship game, grades are probably out by then, so I'll probably check it around that window. As far as the interview go, I'm interviewing students, I'm interviewing the parents. I want to get to know them, and I need to understand if they want to even be a part of the program as well. So that's just documentation that I need along them lines. So boys and girls basketball team, they will be split up. Girls will be with girls, boys will be with boys. And then what I would end up doing is I would have the athletic administration be the leaders of that, right? So I would give them a series of questions. It'd be like an open forum, open forum that's recorded so I could hear, I would just try to understand where they're coming from, and if any ideas spark in my head, what I can do to better help them out, right? And as a researcher, I don't want to be the face of the program just because I'm a stranger at the end of the day. The athletic department, they got more of a relationship with the students than I do, right? Therefore, when I do get the open forum recordings, what I would end up doing is I would sit with the athletic staff and we would go back and forth on what we heard. And then I would give them the tools to what they should do next after hearing that. So like I said, I want to leave a binder with them, right? So I want to leave prompted questions, to follow up after the open forum with the students. And then, that's how we would go from there. So, researcher and positionality statement, they kind of the same, but as a researcher, this is for the total benefit of the students. That's it. I'm so passionate about the student athletes that are playing basketball, and them having a hard time trying to keep up, maintain between academics and sports. I've seen a lot of good people, unfortunately not make it because there was no support on the academic side, but it was much support on the athletic side. And as a higher education professional, as a professional in general dealing with students, we can make a difference, right? So, as a researcher, this is what I want to bring to the table to say, hey, I got something that could possibly help our students. From a personal standpoint, my experience wasn't the best with high school sports, and it wasn't because of my academics or or nothing like that, but just see my friends, not do so well because the academics wasn't up to par, right? There was a lot of shady stuff going on, and I'm all about honesty, integrity, and that's what drove me to do this research project as well. I also got brothers that's playing basketball now, playing sports at the same high school I was at, and I could see little resemblance of what happened back when I was in high school with his teammates and everything like that. So, you know, this is something of my service that I want to do for the student. This is very, very important to me, and I hope to do this in the near future when I become an athletic director myself. This always has been on the back of my mind of, how can I help students retain eligibility? That was always on the back of my mind because, basketball, sports in general, is so influential, right? You can have students jump over loops to be able to play, right? Why not have them jump over a loop to get the education they deserve, you know, to get other career aspirations, boggled in their mind, right? Help them beyond playing sports. Help them get to the next level of going to college, you know, or not going to college, but doing something productive, right? I know college ain't for everybody, but being productive, using the life skills, having the motivation, having that leadership, having those three components be combined together for them to have a healthy, safe life. And that's really the purpose of what I want to do overall as a professional, but also in this research. Right here is my references, stuff like that. Uh, Google Images, that's where my images came from. So, yes, have a good day, y'all. Stay safe.